Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I used the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits and pieces of testimony that left to us from the prophets of Israel. It became the Book of Zion. When I finished the Book of Zion, I found a set of instructions, as in how to contact God and how to um, bring God back to earth. And I did that. I did everything on my to-do list to become Zion, up to and including the final act in my little drama, which is the publication of this book. Because this book is going to start a controversy, and that controversy is going to put me front and center. And when I'm front and center, the war on drugs ends. And all kinds of wonderful things happens for drugs users, and all kinds of terrible things happen to everybody else. It's about time. So I'm going to get after this outright. I'm reading from the 17th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible today. It contains the 14th chapter of the Book of Zion, which is called My People's Transgressions. Now, I'm going to take up where I left off yesterday, which was with Isaiah 3:16 to 26, which becomes Zion 14:17 to 27. And it goes like this. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, and walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab and the crown of the head of the daughter of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cowls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the jewels, the rings, and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, the mantles, and the whipples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the linens, and the hooks, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet there shall be stink, and instead of girdle a rent, and instead of well-dressed hair baldness, and instead of a stomacher a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit on the ground. That's quite a mouthful there. Isaiah 3:16 to 26 talks about modern fashion. It talks about hairstyles. It talks about clothing design for allure. The Me Too movement is partly the fault of the fashion world and the sexual content from our media. If women weren't so sexual in their fashion, men would not be so bombarded with stimulation. I'm not saying I don't believe in Me Too, because, me too, but we must take part of the blame. Come on, girls. There are 10 verses about how we use our sex appeal to entice men. That doesn't give men the right to abuse us, but we should save sex appeal for the home. Fashion can conceal and yet not restrict our beauty. We can enjoy a safer fashion sense. It's our own fault we let ourselves become so driven to use our bodies for gain. Fashion, as we know it, is over the top times 10. Our fashion industry has become as cruel and as inhuman as our government. We waste too many resources on masking our true appearance. The true sin of our women is cosmetics. we cover our faces with chemicals to appear perfect. To do so, we abuse animals to test for safety. True cruelty, just for a fake face. By covering our faces with unnatural chemicals, we create acne. Our faces are subject to constant coverage. Our skin can't breathe. So we use more chemicals to treat the problem that cosmetics caused in the first place. It's a never-ending money fest for both the cosmetics and the medical professions. Our faces are covered with acne because we use cosmetics to cover our skin. And I have to inject something here, girls. Since I've been doing these videos, I've been bombarded by men telling me how beautiful I am. I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup on purpose because of this prophecy. I can't even, the thought of those chemicals on my skin disgusts me. And when I look at you ladies with all your war paint on, I feel sorry for you. Because your true beauty is underneath all that crap. And you don't need all that crap to be beautiful. I have this overwhelming feeling that men hate makeup. They suffer it because we don't give them a choice. And once upon a time, I gave my ex-husband a choice. I asked him, would he rather me wear makeup or not? And he told me that he did not want me wearing makeup. If it was his choice, he would never see me with makeup on. Because when he wanted to kiss me, he wanted to kiss me, not the chemicals. So ladies, I do believe you're screwing yourselves with all your makeup. Because I think the men would rather see you barefaced. They seem to prefer me that way. I'm just saying. The use of fashion has been a necessary tool for females throughout history. Since the very beginning of our current society, men have been in control. Females have been forced to remain home. We were taught that we were intellectually inferior to men. This left us only our bodies as tools capable of getting us through life. The prophecy has always foretold the female prophet Zion. The need to keep females out of power was paramount. As long as women thought themselves inferior to men, men could continue to rule. Whether it was intentional or whether men truly are so blind that they don't see the female Zion coming is debatable. But the truth has always been Zion. The female prophet will come. So we females are told that our use of cosmetics, high heels, jewelry, and sexy fashions are all sins. We have caused ourselves great harm by wasting our time and resources creating a false image of ourselves, demeaning our true intellect by glorifying our female form. The prophecy even predicted the recent trend towards rips and tears in clothing and our baldness. Blue jeans are mentioned here, the girding of sackcloth. This passage is an accurate description of fashion as we know it, placing us squarely in the time of the prophecy. The last two verses in this text tell us that this is a generation that shall suffer the events of prophecy. Our men are being killed by police. Our women weep and mourn for their lost lives. Some do even sit on the ground in videos. It's as if the prophets watched our TV broadcasts. Everything in prophecy is also what's happening in our world today. Which brings us to Isaiah 44, 1 to 6, which becomes Zion 14, 28 to 33. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that hath made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jerusalem, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. And I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessings upon thy offspring. And they shall spring up among the grass, as the willows by the watercourses. And shall say to another, I am the Lord's. And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Isaiah 44, 1 to 6 tells those of us that use drugs not to fear. The God of Israel, the Grey, have chosen both you and Israel. All of us that choose the Grey will be pardoned. We will be protected and justified by the ones that created us. The Grey have the means to provide for us. They forgive us our ignorance, and many of us will trust in the Grey. The children of Zion will take the surnames of Israel in honor of the promise of the ancient Grey. The Grey, in turn, will protect us from our enemies and teach us a better way, providing us with the means to overcome our suffering. The Grey alone are God. The Grey are the true Redeemer, the true King of Israel and Zion. The Grey are the Lord. They, the Lords, who are hosted by Grey humans, the hybrids. The Grey are the ancient God. They are the only physical God of earth. Which brings us to Hosea 4, 1 to 9, which is Zion 14, 34 to 42. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heavens. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another. For thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Therefore thou shalt fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall down with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to thee. Seeing that thou forgettest the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And as they have increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I turn their glory into shame. They eat up the sins of my people, and set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people and like priests, and I will punish them for their ways, and reward them for their doings. Oh. Hosea 4, 1 to 9 tells us that the Grey have a controversy of their own with humanity, because there is no truth, there is no mercy, and there is no true knowledge of the Grey. This controversy with all of humanity, it's not just with the Zionites' children. And there I'm going to stop for the day, so that may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. That's going to be your goal. Stay happy and high. If you use drugs, you have every right and reason to. I love each and every one of you. Stay safe, stay happy, stay high. I love you. Later. I'll never say goodbye.